Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. I'm here with Maryland,
Howdy, everybody.
and we're back. It's turn 6 in the tournament finals, and you can see we are getting excellent player participation with messages. So I think we'll start with Vanheim.
That,
And
that sounds good.
yeah, I was just gonna say we're still in expansion, still in expansion. I don't think there's been any early wars that have broken out yet. Found Bandar to the east. He really wanted that cave, no doubt to get death access. There must have been Zots there. I agreed to trade it for 144 that he has to clear for me. So he's going to clear 144, then Vanheim gets to take it. If he takes the cave before that, he'll pay its income to me. He's also required to sell me any one tin gem item that he can craft later depending on what I need.
Good grief. Well, that's a pretty good negotiation.
Yeah. If you think about it, it doesn't seem like he's giving up much because he's going to pay him for the 10 gem item.
Exactly.
But that could be anything. That could be a Ring of Regen. That could be a Thistle Mace. Yeah, you can get a lot of good stuff out of that.
Mm-hmm.
But, and it's an interesting diplomatic tool I've never seen really used before. It also kind of suggests good relations, like they're not going to attack each other.
Yeah. And I personally find that, if I've got a good trading partner, you're not so likely to fight with them because the good trading is more valuable.
Right. Right. Okay, so we agreed to borders and signed a NAP 3. I don't really want to fight Tiger Raiders if I can avoid it. He seems to have quite a lot of them. And that makes sense. Tiger Raiders would be pretty okay with 3 attacks versus Vans.
Yeah, relatively. And I think they're significantly cheaper.
Yeah.
Like if you end up trading, it's not to Van's advantage.
Right. Though I don't think our Bandar has an attack bless, which would be very, very helpful for fighting elves, but...
If I remember correctly, no. I think you're right.
Okay, so let's go see what's happening over in the Vanheim part of the world. Okay, looking for little evil elf red flags. Okay, if I find Bandar, I know they're near Bandar. Okay, here we have little evil elf red flags. So Vanheim attacking Independence here. Now this was this enormous tribe. This is like 90 lion tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with lion tribe, the elves are very interesting how they expand. They suck. Especially these Vans, they suck against archers. Now, we'll see. He can probably do air shield. Yeah, so he's doing air shield first, which is what you want to do. And he brought 2 commanders as a form of redundancy, which again, I think is a good thing for this.
Well, that's a big bunch.
Yeah.
And that's only, 6 Vans total?
I think it's more like 8 or something. We'll see. But these guys are running in.
A little scattered.
Yeah. But already we can see 4 of these guys have had their glamour popped from these archers. This guy's dead.
Ouch.
Oh, and the javelins are coming out.
Yeah, and there's some tangle vines. Those don't count.
Oh.
Did they get a commander?
Oh, let's take a look.
No, they're running away.
No. Okay, this guy's running, but there hasn't been a general route yet.
Okay. Oh, those tangle vines are
Oh my gosh. And the archers. Yeah.
Yeah. That's messing them up. Oh, ouch. And that was a fail.
Yeah, a very expensive fail for Vanheim.
Yeah, that hurt. It's Vanheim again. Let's look this up.
Now, he sent me, I think, a message in Discord, or maybe we'll get it next turn. But he sends me a message saying he tested this and it typically worked. Which, yeah.
Okay.
Which, I think you would want to, like, you test this just by doing expansion practice. You don't even have to test this specifically. Like, if you're playing middle-aged Vanheim or late-age Vanheim, because they get Vans too, or whatever the nation's called, you come to learn that huge archer stacks are scary.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the other thing, I mean, I think the archers were one thing, but those Tanglevines absolutely
Yeah.
trashed him.
Yeah, they really did.
Well,
I think this is a lesson too. Like, if you're getting raided by elves, like, putting 20 archers mixed in with some PD that's gonna, especially if the PD has archers, and a couple, like, even nature ones spamming Tanglevine or earth ones.
Nature ones with eagle eyes and Tanglevines. It makes a mess.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a really, I think, and it's one of the things I think new players struggle with a lot. Not that this player's not a new player, but one of the things new players struggle with a lot is defending against elves. And elves are very good against most units in melee. And so you have to not use that.
People also panic. And one of the things they forget, in my view, is they forget that if somebody has made a lot of expensive cavalry like Vans and spent a lot on a blast, they have almost no siege power. So if you go straight at their castles and shut them down, they're in trouble. You can lose territory. You can do a bit of scorched earth and fall back, let them raid. But then for Vanheim and the other elf nations to actually finish a fight, like win a war, is quite difficult.
Yeah, it really is, especially the first war. Most of the elf nations have ways to get some siege chaff later with magic or something. Mm-hmm. But at the beginning, for the first war, it's really hard for them to siege things.
Yeah, because they've spent everything they've got on Van Herses and Vans, or the equivalent, and they're broke.
Okay, we have a second crossed swords here. Oh no.
That was more trolls than I thought it would be.
Yeah. I thought I remember seeing it saying like 8 or something. And this is more, and this guy had death gems, I'm quite certain, because he's done Horde of Raised Skeletons, which you have to be death 2 for.
Right.
And I think this is... this is a mage and 4 cav, and they're on guard commander.
And that's okay. Yeah. That's a lot of trolls. And you've got to do a lot of damage pretty fast so they don't regen it away.
Yeah.
That's a tough fight.
Yeah, it is. The thing is, the trolls really are not gonna... Okay, I say that, and then they just blow this one guy up. Watch this. I did it fast. We have to do it slow motion.
Well, I think... Did 3 of them hit the same one or something? That's kind of how it looked like. It was really fast.
Wait till they charge in. I'm going to go in super slow motion.
Yeah, slow it down when they get close.
Watch this.
Boom. 27. Whoa! And they wiped that one van right off the planet. Can you click on that one troll?
Let's click on this guy. Oh, dude, it was the commander, because he ran in first because of guard commander.
Well, that's the end of that fight.
Oh, wow.
22 points of damage. What was his roll? 24?
24 attack.
23. So he just hit, but his damage roll. Ouch.
What is the attack score on these guys, I wonder?
Not very good.
9. Wow, that was a hell of an attack roll.
Yeah, that was a lucky roll.
And they were about to kill these guys. I think there's a world they win.
Yeah, he would have won.
Yeah.
No, that 24 versus 23 was a really good roll. So he rolled a 15.
Right.
2d6. That's a pretty good roll.
Yeah.
It's not like crazy good, but it's a good roll.
Yeah, I think too with this one, I mean, it's so easy to do this one in hindsight, but This is one where you really want to be careful about having your commander running and having the bodyguards following behind.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Like I said, my team game with Helheim, I really was skeptical of that methodology.
Yeah.
Put them on guard commander. Having the commander hold ×3 and them on hold attack puts him just a few squares behind. But at least then he doesn't take the first hit.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And I mean, you get the morale penalties from being under 5. I think on these high defense units, it matters a bit less because they really tend to not get hit. On the protection-based unit where you're taking chip damage all the time, it might matter a bit more.
Well, I think my understanding is that the small squad thing, from what I understand, no longer applies to single commanders and thugs.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But it does apply to, this squad, if you didn't have them on guard commander, they would have been under that threshold. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, I think the big thing about small squad, if I remember it correctly, I could look it up, is they automatically take 1 morale check every round.
Yeah.
No matter what happens. So that plus morale checks for damage or anything else.
Right. And if you're taking any damage, you're going to start losing morale.
Yeah.
So that's how it kind of compounds. If you're high defense and you're not taking any damage, at least you're going to be at max morale when you're doing those rolls.
Well, this is a rough turn for him.
Yeah. Almost, you look at this and you think almost unrecoverable.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
He's fallen. That's 2 failed expansions on turn 6. That's going to hurt.
And the problem hasn't really gone away. These are both going to be challenging provinces to take. The good thing is it looks like he's gotten Huskarls. And Vans with these Huskarls, some distraction will go a long way, I think.
I agree with you. Yeah, I would have used at least some kind of archer baiting.
Yeah.
Would have helped significantly.
Snipe the back line or something while your other guys are up there.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty tough. That's a tough result for him.
And who's playing Vanheim again? I forget.
Chris Lighthawk.
Okay, so Chris is a very good player. So if anybody's going to recover, I think it'll be Chris. So he's not down and out.
And he has secured 1 border.
Right.
So.
Yeah. He's been expanding pretty well to this point. Like if we look at the score graphs, even though he failed, I bet he's one of the top dogs. Oh no, he's middle of the pack right now.
Yeah. Lowish middle. Who's at the bottom? Sati.
Yeah, we can go ahead and look at this. So the top is Utgard. Next up we have Pangaea.
And Utgard's super simple expansion method.
Right.
Just blobs. Effective blobs.
Yeah.
Really good blobs.
Giants with a bit of Eddie.
Yeah, that mix is...
Jotunheim, not Utgard. I correct myself.
Yeah, but that's working exceptionally well for him.
We have Naba here doing pretty well. And pretty well. Uruk pretty well. There's a lot of people that are on this line from here to here.
Yes. Yeah, so that's kind of the average.
Yeah.
And what is that? That's 8.
Yeah, that's Vanner's. God, there's like 8 people that are hidden on this one thing.
Every top of every black bar is 1. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So the average is 6.
Yeah. And Satis is at the bottom here. Agartha is looking pretty strong. They're in this line where there's multiple. Micklin a little below average. Ulm at average. Pythium a little under average. Yeah. And then research again, there's that Satis leader. Income is interesting. Income, there's a very clear leader for this, which I think is... wait, who is it? It's Naba. Because Naba got... You remember Pangaea wants to kill Naba because he got that really good farmland? And I don't think he has much of a bless. I think Naba is almost pure scales.
I believe so, yeah.
So he's crushing income right now.
Sorry, I had a bad coughing fit there for a second.
Oh, that's okay.
I just hit the mute.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right. A message from Bandar Log. Word on the treetop. Nap 3 signed with Van under the following conditions. I received the cave and provide its income until I clear the forest in 144. Little does he know this is an extremely nice deal for Vanheim because Vanheim is in no position right now to do anything about what Bandar Log wants to do.
Yeah. But he didn't know that at the time.
Right. Couldn't have even known it because last turn Van was doing awesome. I have rights to 176 and Van has rights to 182. Van has rights to purchase a 10 gem item from me in exchange for 10 gems of any kind. This started with me trying to reach out to trade the cave province for the forest for a 10 gem item. Van also wanted 176, but I pointed out that it was 2 away from my capital and 3 from theirs. They were very reasonable, and I'm very happy that I got the cave, as well as a safe border and a strong early game nation. With a strong early game nation.
Yeah, I can Bandar with some Zots. That could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can think of interesting things you could do with that. Oh, I just got a message. I think Craig just dropped off us. Okay.
All right, I'll pause. We can.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we're back. I had to click off there for a second. So, yeah, they're very reasonable. Now, I've played with this Bandar Log player many times, and they're usually... He is very gentle on Diplo. So he's all about making friends with people at the beginning and then getting in a 2v. He's going to be slow in getting into his first war, and it's probably going to be a 2v1. You know, that, and then kind of slinks his way until he has like a ton of research, and then he'll actually start making like more real plays. But that's what I expect from this guy. So
he plays. Does he like to play Bandar fairly?
Oh yeah, this must be like his 10th Bandar game.
Because I mean, all of the monkey nations are awfully vulnerable in an early rush.
Right.
And a peaceful diplomacy can make a big difference to their survival.
Yeah.
Because once they get to that mid game, well, then they start rolling out really good research possibilities.
Right. Yeah, that's matches my experience. Okay, so he's got the monkeys. Oh, well, they were taking the archer fire, but now it's shifted.
Well,
he's Mercado.
He did some good work. See, if you restart this, I think you'll notice what I was kind of saying is that I've noticed that the Mercado archers seem to not be targeted by the AI very often. And so they last longer than you expect. He's got that one Atavi out there. Oh, with a sticks and stones Mercado, just as bait. So everything shoots at them.
On the javelins, huh? How about that? So he wasted the javelins on these idiots.
Mm-hmm. Well, and a whole pile of the archer shots.
Right.
And he still hasn't targeted the Mercado archers. Now he's starting. No, he's
shooting. No, you're right. It's gone for the tigers. It's ignored them.
And he's shooting at Atavis behind them. See, I've noticed this before, that maybe it's because the AI thinks that small bow is too flimsy to do anything. But it does quite a bit of chip damage.
You know, when you first said that, Maryland, I was thinking, okay, he's just saying that. That's probably not right. But I think... I mean, well, of course I wouldn't dare say it, but I think you're right.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just an observation I've noticed in the past few games, that the starting army Mercado archers... I used to preferentially, if I needed Mercado for some purpose, and there are a few purposes, I'd buy the sticks and stone ones. But now I've tended towards picking up the little small bow ones because they seem to get ignored.
Yeah.
I'd say that was a fairly economical expansion.
Yeah.
He had only 3 tigers.
I think he had 4. I think he had 4.
So he lost 2.
It was done on a shoestring budget.
Exactly. And
but like it had fair attrition. Like, this party's spent now.
Yeah, but, you know, he even bought a couple of independent heavy infantries and...
Oh, yeah, he did. Trying to get one more expansion out of him. Yeah.
Yeah. And he split his start army. See, this other party, what's he got in that? A little bit of everything? Yeah, see? A little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think we've seen this before. He's got a couple of these Vanara swordsmen in with the other guys.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Well, that at least gets his squads over the magic number.
You know what I really like the idea of? is larger bless on Bandar Log.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to worry about all this business of blessing them at the beginning, because you really hate blessing them in expansion. And they get, I think, bonus HP in both forms.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. In tiger form, too.
Right. And then I think all of these... No, strength isn't added for this, but yeah. Maybe like a larger with like a frost weapons or something. Like something nobody would ever expect.
Yeah, it would be interesting. He's doing fine.
Yeah.
He's doing just fine.
Yeah.
I like a squad setup there with putting in the 3 Vanara swordsmen. Just kind of beefs it up a little bit. Provides a few extra targets.
And the nice thing too about having these 2 squads is it's a lot harder for when you have, like, if they were, let's say it's not enough Tiger Riders where he would want to put them in 2 squads natively, right? If it was only Tiger Riders. Not
quite.
So because of that, he's able to do it in 2 squads. Well, he's able to do it in 2 squads because of the Vanara. If he just did 1 pack of Tiger Riders, there's a much higher chance that some of the enemies leak past them and kill the commander.
Exactly. We talked about that 1 or 2 episodes ago, that's a huge risk with small sacred parties with nothing else. If you don't bring something.
So, and it looks like he's got another party ready to go. And this party is not running out of steam. You don't really want to run it into elephants, but it can come. Well, what do you think about this? Heavy cav? How do Tiger Riders do against heavy cav? I don't remember.
Pretty good generally, I think.
Okay.
But you'll take some attrition.
Okay.
But I noticed he's bought chakrams. And that's an interesting choice.
Oh, wait, where are we?
It is capital. Oh. And they're an odd unit. I've hardly ever used them.
I guess the benefit of them is I think they have pretty small range, so they're probably not likely to miss much when they start shooting. Oops. But I don't remember ever seeing them in a multiplayer game.
They're pretty rare.
Yeah, range of 10 with the precision of 10. That means they're mostly going to hit. In theory.
Yeah. And they hit fairly hard. Now they're only single. How many ammo? Probably only 4 ammo or something. Maybe a little more.
2.
Only 2. Okay, so they're basically a javelin.
Yeah, it's basically a javelin. You're right. And then it's got a mace. I mean, these are fine though. They're 8 gold. That's cheap.
Mm-hmm. Be interesting to see how he scripts them.
Yeah.
If he does anything tricky.
He's got Jade Amazons over here, which is nice. Okay. That's Bandar Log. Next up is Ashdod. At this point, I've tapped into my Diplo scouting network. Some folks are hard at work, putting my 1 scout to shame. By this turn, I know all my neighbors, as reliable as Diplo can be. In a clockwise fashion... Okay, we know the neighbors. We're not going to read that.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
The bless info is still trickling in. Hearing Micklin's at this stage in a roughly a light bless, mostly scales, with shock resistance and charged bodies.
That's it, yeah.
Well,
his intel's good.
That's right. I expect about this turn or next, my bless will be noted. And it should look like a chill rather than rush Ashdod. From point costs, okay, they'll probably have put together no regen and missing fire component. So, yeah, he's looking for indies to solve some of his magic diversity issues. Ashdod gets a fair amount of magic diversity, but it's no Hinnom.
Yeah. Well, I hope he has some luck, but, that is such a random thing. Luck with indies.
Oh, it really is. And it can make a huge difference on some nations.
Absolutely. I've got a Lanka game right now where I got crystals on, air astral. And getting those astral ones to do some site searching, that made a big difference.
Yeah.
Plus, early on, I lucked out and got a 10% random on an astral too.
Ooh.
So that actually gives me a good mage.
Yeah, Starshine Skullcaps.
Well, I bought some rather in that game, but now that, it's the only one, but I actually have a Mind Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how much good one Mind Hunter turn does, but she's an anti-magic caster or whatever.
Yeah. That's super nice to have as Lanka.
It sure is.
All
Because
right.
otherwise you're stuck with going for specters to try to get some
Oh
astral.
my gosh.
And that's a very expensive way to bootstrap into astral.
It really is. It's the worst way.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to. You also do specters for Earth Astral, but okay. I mean, we had. Well, let's watch just this one again. I don't remember if we saw this one. No, I don't think we've watched this. So this is just the Anakites.
Okay. Very straightforward. So this is exactly this possibility where you could have stuff get around them.
Right.
And this guy's coming forward. And those ones on the edge almost got around, but then they broke.
I think he scripted. Did he script this to run forward? Or
Advance one. It looked like it.
it looks like it. It looks like he had bless, 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 attack, bless, and then spells.
Something along those lines is what it looked like, yeah.
Let's
It
see.
didn't look like the typical bless, bless, bless hold to.
Yeah.
It's a little riskier, but
And these Anakites are units. They didn't take any damage. Look at them. They're all basically full HP. They could have been 5 HP units. It'd be fine.
he's doing fine.
Doing fine. All right.
He's got a good expansion. One direction. He didn't go the other way at all.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, Micklin's struggling with expansion. Okay, Uruk. Luck 3 track record. 2 bad events, 0 good events. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only turn 6.
I have really found that Luck 3 tends to not pay off. I think people think, oh, it's going to be great at the beginning. I'm going to get a luck event. In my experience, it almost never works that way because your scales haven't really, like for luck to come into play.
Luck doesn't do much for you till you push your scales.
Yeah. You need not only to have your candles there, but then they need to be there long enough to get to luck 3. So like we'll actually go look at Uruk and we'll see. Now, some of it was probably in his capital. So his capital is luck 3. This is luck 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is luck 1. This is luck 0.
Yeah.
This is luck 0. And this is luck 0.
So he's not going to see events yet.
Right. So I think a lot of times people think like, oh, I get luck 3. I should have good events. He's got 1 province that's luck 3. Everything else is neutral, and he's got 2 that are luck 1.
Yeah, it takes some time.
Yeah.
But I'm still very fond of playing with luck. Partly it's just taste in that I find more than one misfortune just painfully annoying. It works. It's a fine dumb scale. It's just constant, never-ending barbarian attacks and stuff.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Irritate.
And if you go deep, like Misfortune 3, you can start getting storm demons and stuff, which can really make your day bad.
Yeah, Misfortune 3 is really painful. But luck is a fun scale. You get a lot of heroes. You get a lot of random diversity mages. And
occasionally you get like a robe of the Magi or something.
Yeah. I got a funny one. This latest one, I got a Golden Order mage, and it showed up wearing a slave collar.
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. Complete garbage.
All right, so this is interesting. This guy ran in, basically lost the rider on contact, but because he died so fast, he's not actually surrounded. So he's just sitting here on the front, spitting out his little fear aura.
That thing's crazy. That single one of those things has worked for him now. The same one has gone through 4 battles.
Yeah, and I think this form switch has kept it from getting a lot of afflictions.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, because the rider just dies, takes a hit and dies.
Oh my gosh, it's got 14 attack too.
Yeah.
With 3 attacks, it's actually pretty damn good in the second form.
That's kind of a crazy beast.
What is this guy doing?
Now he's
He's in the wrong part of town.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, maybe he's okay.
Oh, he lived.
How about that?
Oh, what caused a paralyze there? Oh, did you see that?
Oh, probably Word of Power, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, that's Word of Power. Yeah, you're right. I just saw him go gray.
Yeah, this is pretty clean, though. Very budget group of guys. None of these are sacreds. Running into 60 dudes, coming out with only losing 2 kind of mediocre, or 3 mediocre units.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Yeah.
Very, very cost effective. And now he's met up.
Yeah, he's bumped into Zabalba over there. And this is the other squad with 2 of these guys. Let's see if they're afflicted.
Yeah, see, I was expecting 2. Well, these ones were in the cap last turn.
Right. That's right. We were speculating they would come out.
I was speculating he would keep it to 2. Because, see, look at this. 2 is just devastating.
Yeah.
They just rip things to shreds. How many attacks do they have with a rider?
Well, they're not going to use them if they're trampling, but they have 3.
Oh, that's right. They trample when they have a rider,
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty amazing. No, 2 makes great sense. That seems the magic number.
Well, so this is interesting. They've got, Naba has an excellent border with Pangaea and with Uruk.
Yeah, he sure put the squeeze on them.
And this is Sai, Pangaea, and this is Nick Knight. And these are 2 very good players.
And Naba has squeezed them.
Right.
Really
Which I don't think you want to, you don't want to give this province to Sai. It's not like if you're small, you're not going to attract aggression. Because, people are definitely going to be looking at the small players like food.
Yeah.
But if you have favorable borders, that's all. You can't win. If you're small, you get attacked. But if you have really favorable borders with important provinces with somebody, you're also probably going to get attacked.
Yeah. It's a tough call, but he's done well.
Yeah.
So, his Diplo will have some effect on things.
Yeah, we'll see what he can dream up. Okay, so that was Uruk. Okay, and 3 messages from End. Oh boy. All right. I don't know if I want to read more logic on. If y'all want to read, I'm going to pull all the messages up so that if y'all want to see what people are saying. He's pointing out that you can use some of the End mages, which are just normal human mages, as
I like his wording. Field them in pairs of 3. No, a pair is 2.
Yes.
There's no such thing as a pair of 3.
Right.
But you can't wear 3 socks.
But yeah, I mean, you have it. That's true.
I just read that and I'm like, pairs of 3. No.
Yeah. But yeah, you can use the mages that End gets as light thugs or super combatant killers. Because they have pretty good point buffing. You can put 3 in a tile and buff that whole tile up. And then he's going to have some more messages we're going to read. Okay, so let's read this one. This one looks like it's relevant. Scrying the heavy cav farmland to my north. Getting conflicting reports. Hopefully it's max 20 heavy cav. My main expansion party can deal with that reasonably well. Although I might have to sacrifice the archers. Otherwise, I'll need to bring some reinforcements because I really want that province.
So he doesn't seem to realize that if you look at how the way they give scouting reports, that it's 50% to 200%. If you've got 3 of them, it's going to be right smack dab in the middle. If you've looked at a province for 3 turns.
Unless you're unlucky.
You could be very unlucky, but
yeah.
Generally, it'll be kind of in between.
Right, you're right. The other thing I think with End, and I don't know how much you can have by this early, but I don't think you can. But having maybe even just indies or something to eat lance charges, you don't really want your infantry eating lance charges. Because they're solid, but they're not solid enough to eat a lance charge.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how he deals with heavy cav. My experience is, you're going to want anything you can get to start eating lance charges before you take those.
Yeah, I mean, I try to usually have some kind of lance eaters most anytime, unless I've got a unit that can effectively shrug lances off. I mean, Vans usually can shrug it off if it's a reasonable number and a good sized squad. But
now, what I have also done with End, because End has a trouble getting it, because they only can get sacreds out of their cap. They don't have any chaff they can get. is for like the first couple heavy cav provinces, you can sometimes sacrifice your archers. Because and gets these where are they?
Toll?
Here we go.
No.
They get these guys, the archer priests.
Okay.
Which, you know, cool sacred archer, but if it's between somebody getting killed by a lance charge and it's this guy or it's one of my soldier guys, I'd much rather just give up a short bow. So sometimes I'll sacrifice them. So he's saying, okay, second expansion party coming out, but I rather find... he wants to expand in 4, so he's going for the less risky approach, so that has less attrition, but maybe a little less territory, but is hopefully better set up for his first war. 2 more turns or 3 more turns until his next expansion party. Satis is to his west, got a province now within his dominion. We'll need to scout his build. It's very interesting. He went turmoil production. Usually you see order production as Satis, so he knows something's up.
Yeah, well, just like you said, elite warriors are the best bang for the buck that Satis gets, and our Satis is not using them.
Right. He is playing his own game.
Oh, he's gonna try to figure out his stuff from the god titles.
Yeah.
That's something I can never be bothered to do. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, you'll find out soon enough.
Exactly. Okay. And then the final message will be, okay, if he's telling us what he's gonna be doing. The sprites are the main reason why I'm so careful about the heavy cav province to his north. Okay, well, let's find End. End, where are you?
Oh,
yeah.
The nice farm.
The shields, I think, there's different kinds of heavy calves. Some are slightly better than others. I think the red shields are the better ones. I can't remember.
They are the tougher ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And the more barding.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see what he managed to accomplish here. Yeah, pretty standard.
Mm-hmm. He's using the 2 squads slightly spread apart to avoid that flank maneuver. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Very effective. Very effective.
And we don't. I wonder what Dom strength he is. We can probably surmise from this because he has 1 temple up plus his temple here is giving him 2 bonus. This was.
It's not very high.
This was what? How many turns of recruitment? 15. So 2 turns of recruitment. I think he has a Dom strength like 5 build or something. If you have 5 Dom strength and then the 2 temples, 1 in your cap and 1 here, that lets you get 7 sacreds a turn. Oh, but plus the mage, so maybe it's Dom strength 6.
Right.
Yeah. I find his End, you actually kind of want a higher dominion.
Yeah, I can see that because you got it, fairly low powered and cheap sacreds. You're going to need a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're not really going to do their job in groups of 7.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Okay, so he's expanding pretty well. If he chooses to head into this, though, this is tough. Even for this squad, I think if you do this, I think this squad can take it. If you want this province, you want it real bad, you have to sacrifice your archers here.
Yeah.
And you don't probably need all of them, but you assume there's like 15 cav, and you probably put 10 archers, and maybe you leave 6 back. And you just put them up there.
Yeah, let them soak lances.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't see that we could see. Nobody else is really poised to get it yet.
Right.
But he can't see that.
Well, he knows Agartha is to his north. Agartha does not really love heavy lance charges either.
But what I mean is he can't see where Agartha's armies are right now.
Right.
To know that Agartha's not, right there ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point.
And that's a tough enough province. I'd be waiting a little bit, building up something. He's the one you said, no, it was Naba had the really huge gold, not Int.
Yeah.
Int's not that
well. This one's really good, but it's not even as good as Naba's. Naba's is like this one, 23,000, and this one's 2,000.
20.
Yeah. Where are we with End? Yeah, this one's 20, so.
Still a good province.
I would probably take this if I were End, but I would sacrifice the archers.
I'd be pushing for it, because if he can get that,
it's so much money.
His border on that side.
Yeah. Getting this province does so much for you. It secures this province, so you don't need to go there, which, by the way, has a sage place, which is awesome.
But they don't know that.
They don't know that.
We do.
I don't think it secures this one necessarily, but yeah, I don't know. This is just so good. It's like 4 provinces in one. Okay, next up, we have Naba. Speaking of Naba. Hey, big brother. Yeah, we are watching. My small input about my position. Because of asphodel between me and Micklin, we agreed for a defensive pact. If he declares war against one of us, the other guy will help.
Oh my god, 1914.
Yeah, defensive pacts are very dangerous, guys.
Yeah. Well, unless you just don't honor them.
Yeah, well, there's problems with not honoring it too, but yeah.
Well, the problem with defensive pacts, I've never seen it in a Dominion's game, but historically the problem is when they start to overlap.
Right.
And you start dragging other people in that weren't even involved in the original dispute.
Yeah, it has just the rippling effect where you have like the initial prime movers, they call in their immediate allies, and then those allies call in immediate allies.
Archduke Ferdinand gets killed, so Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia, and off it goes.
Yeah, I tend to avoid defensive pacts, but I think the way I think about it is defensive pacts are nice as like a floating idea, like unwritten, where 2 players understand it's in their best interest to work together if something happens. But understanding that could change very quickly and one player could easily back out, I think is fine, because that way they actually have to think about it before they say, okay, I'm bound by honor to go to war.
Yeah. You were talking about, speaking of diplomacy stuff, you were talking about, I think it was, I don't remember which, I think it was Arco you were talking about, using the method of giving up some territory in diplomacy to get peace.
Oh, yeah.
And I hadn't seen a lot of that, but that seems to have become very popular, because I canceled 2 NEPs in a game, and immediately both of them offered me a few provinces. Boom. So I just suddenly went from my little normal kind of crappy, basic expansion of 12 or so, and I gobbled up 8 more provinces with no cost.
Yeah, I just had it's nice when you can do that, because sometimes you get bigger than you want to get. Like, you need to kill a player to get them out of the game, but getting that much land gives you too much stuff. And if you're in that situation, people are like, we need to team up on you. And you're like, okay, well, I'll just give away some of my land. Mm-hmm. But I was in a situation where they wouldn't let me do that. They just attacked me. Anyway, I was trying to give them land for free, and they lost that game. I lost it too. I king made somebody, but
I think you being a famous YouTuber, you've always got that little bit of issue that by being a personality, sometimes you're more visible to the players.
Yeah. This it's going to be my Micklin game. That'll be fun to go up. I was so salty in that game. We've already talked about it, you and I, a little bit, but okay. I beelined in the beginning with Mercs to the big farmland that helped and expected a bump. That's why I overcommitted my resources. It worked fine. That's a good play by him. I like scales. That's why I put nearly all my pretender points in scales with some poison resistance. The only damage source I can't easily deal with. Toll. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we've discussed his build.
Right.
And it seemed viable to me.
Yeah. Yep. A little greedy by taking scales, but not taking full order productivity, but probably fine. Naba is a nation that can use Order 3 too, because you can crank out all of your crappy little dudes very, very quickly. Like, Naba, you could do a no fort build, like where you're like, I'm not going to build anything by my but my capital. My second fort is going to be an enemy fort.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean by a no fort build, yeah.
Because you can foreign recruit everything.
Is he forting up that farmland yet?
Yeah. This one you would want to fort just for the admin bonus, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look. Next farmland for Naba.
Well, there's the archers again. He's getting good mileage out of those.
He really is.
He's hardly lost any. Yeah, he got good money out of those.
He lost a few guys. I wonder how much of this... So he lost 5 guys, but these guys only killed 3, which means 2 of these guys died from archer-friendly fire. But that's their job. To sit there and take shots while the archers kill all this.
Yeah,
well,
he's doing fine.
They killed half the stuff, too. The archers didn't actually kill that much. They killed 3. The smite killed 7. I'm not sure the archers are worth it here, man. Look at this. They killed 4 guys, and 2 of them were Naba's dudes.
Well, I guess, but they do provide for a bit of gold and not having to eat up your capital recruitment spots. They're giving him a line, and because I think if I remember right, in the previous turn, they actually soaked something that got past his front line.
Yeah, that's true.
And so those longbowmen soaked some of that damage, avoiding the nasty result that they could have got as captain.
That's a good point.
So if nothing else, they're giving him, good protection around his commanders. So it's a clear, solid line that things can't really get there.
Okay, so I want to look at this. Their precision is 11, and they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 away. And then now probably like 14 away to these guys. I think there's one more tile.
Yeah, and they're not penetrating the heavy infantry hardly at all.
Yeah. I think this is far enough away where they're going to cause about 50-50 damage.
Yeah.
If you can just get them a little bit closer, and some of that could even just be starting these guys maybe a little bit behind and then having them run forward.
Yeah, I think he could have done some interesting things with timing there.
Yeah.
That might have made things a little cheaper.
Yeah. Okay. And over here, Marcotta archers getting ignored.
Yeah.
And fire archers seem to do some stuff there. Let's see how many they killed. 2 guys that caused damage. It seems okay.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, and scouting the barbarians, definitely a province you want to have very good intel on.
39 is quite a few.
This is the kind of thing Naba is set up well to deal with, because they can make tons of cheap archers.
Yes. Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, so things look like they're going real well for Naba. If I were him, I'd be trying to secure a nap with Pangaea. Just fighting, especially if he knows what his plus is. But in this game, it's a large. You don't know the details, but there's larger on it.
Do we have any more messages? Is that the end of the messages?
We have one from Pelagia.
Pelagia.
Got hit by an uncommon good event, except it isn't so good. 30 unrest in the capital, which cut a sizable chunk out of my gold for this turn. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I guess he did some patrolling this turn too, it looks like.
But I mean, Pelagia's got, he's got a lot of time to put together his plan.
He does.
Nobody can really interfere with anything he wants to do, so he could take his time, plan away. Who probed those heavy cavalry in that farmland south of Pelagia? Somebody did a scout probe.
Pangaea.
Okay. So only 14. Well, that's not that bad.
Pelagia next to Satis, I think, is the smallest right now. Just being very casual about the expansion.
Just looking at the size of the stacks of the independents, he had some pretty hefty stacks.
Yeah.
That one's not massive, but
these are tough, like 30 basically cavalry, and then
none of them are small. He's not getting those little 10 province fishmen.
Yeah, at least he doesn't have any of the 50 or 60 shark tribe provinces that you literally want to kill yourself.
Or the golden tritons.
Yeah. The Amber Clan ones.
Amber Clan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can hurt.
Okay, so things look like they're going fine for him. Not too much happening. We'll do this column now. We'll come down to Pangaea.
Well, that's what I was curious. That's why I was asking if there was more messages, because I'm wondering what Pangaea's next move is. So he's got...
This is a very high value province he's gotten here.
Yeah, did he get it really cheap?
Let's see. Oh, he's got a white minotaur. How about that? Don't mind getting those. White minotaur, a holy 3 multi-hero that Pangaea gets.
Oh, it's the hero. Yes, yeah. I know the one you mean now.
Ooh, these guys filtering forward to eat the lance charge right there.
Well done.
I gotta see this again. This is just beautiful scripting. Did he get the javelin shots off from the centaurs too?
Really good timing there.
Oh, he did. He got one round of javelins, and then they run in.
Oh yeah, excellent scripting. He soaked all the lances. Oh, maybe one got through, it looks like.
I don't know if these guys run attack closest. These guys running out like this is indicative that they might have been on attack rear, which he might lose this white centaur as a result.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But they did end up on the flank, and they kind of came almost like they were in different squads, which... But anyways, that was very good.
Yeah, it was very good.
Bit of square counting and doing your combat speeds properly.
Yeah, that was pretty clean.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 2 centaur warriors were avoidable losses probably, but I mean, this was a hard province. 5 knights is tough. So very nice.
He did well. He did it on the cheap.
Yeah. And then this expansion...
He's using that same technique. Although in that case...
I don't think he wanted these guys to actually be in front in this case.
Maybe not.
Yeah, because he positioned these guys all the way at the back, and he has these guys all the way at the front.
Yeah, that's about 12 squares, so...
Where this one...
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know. It kind of looks like these are...
But the difference was the speed of the opponents.
That's right.
They came rushing forward.
That's right. So it was the same formation. That's a good point. Okay. So there's that. We'll come down to Ulm. Uh-oh. I think we know what happened here. Remember we had these wet ones.
Yes. Oh, they failed.
Yeah. Unpredictably.
Yeah. Well, they're pretty terrible.
Yeah.
They are seriously terrible.
We can see the poison from the tips of the spears doing a number on them.
Yeah.
And they could win, but it's going to come down to morale. Like, it looks like they're about to win.
But then the poison.
Around a poison, some of these guys start running.
Boy, that was close.
And they're like, peace.
If he'd have got it, it would have been worth it. But
yeah. You have to try.
Yeah. That was really close.
Yeah. A player's got to make plays.
They're very bad troops.
Yeah. That would have been real nice if he took it.
Yeah, and because they ran, they're gone.
Oh, right? Yeah. They're toast.
Yeah, so he won't have any chance to try that again. And now he's weakened it tremendously.
Yeah, for probably Agartha to come through with the... Yeah. I mean, ultimately, trying to hold a lake as Ulm when you're next to Agartha...
It's a little tough.
A little tough. If Agartha wants it, they can just take it. A Sleep Cloud coming out. One thing I will say is if you have improved casting AI mod on, not going to be Tangle Vines. It's going to be Sleep Cloud from... I think this must be a Nature 2 mage. Or you must have had a gem for that Sleeping Cloud. Yeah.
There's the Tangle Vines, but he hit himself.
Yeah. God, all his troops are just so solid.
As long as that priest Master Smith doesn't get sniped. Oh, we did have a second commander though, so
that's true. And he's got another squad he's moving over here. It looks like they're going to come up and take this.
I think so.
But he's got an interesting water system down here too. Like this one, well, Satis has water swimming, so Satis actually can cross this.
Yes.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Those lizards are gonna be a little tough. That's a lot of them.
It's a lot, yeah. And heavy armored units do pretty okay against lizards because they basically, like, these guys are gonna mostly ignore the bite attack.
Right.
But so it takes a lot of the edge off. But the trident's still going to wreck them. So it's tricky.
Be a little pricey.
Yeah. Okay. So that's Ulm. Satis with the Galaxy Brain stuff.
So this is still working.
Yeah. It's like, I'll be putting all my money in Marshmasters. Thank you very much. Shockwave.
Ouch. That made a mess.
These guys must route, though.
He stunned himself. No, he stunned just his Sobex.
Dude, Shockwave is a hell of a spell, though. Air Blast. These guys are tough enough where they can kind of survive Shockwave, too.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting. But now he's at the long range. Oh, I guess, no, they ran away.
What troops does Satis get for Sacreds? I can't even remember. These guys? Now, what would be interesting is having these guys with shock resistance as bodyguards and then doing Shockwave.
But he didn't script that. He was long past his 5 spells.
Yeah, but the AI likes Shockwave, actually. Mm-hmm. So if you have stuff that closes into melee, especially if you don't have your own troops around that have shock vulnerability or anything, the AI loves dropping Shockwave.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
He's still pretty small.
Yeah. Well, he's got now 1 million of these Sobek warriors. I mean, you don't want to send Sobex really into Barbs. Barbs are not hard for Satis with elite warriors. But they are not what you want to send Sobex into.
But it's turn 6, and he's only got a single expansion party.
And it's his god.
Because he lost his starting army.
Right. Which is fair, because the starting army for Satis sucks. But it's time for another army to be coming out.
Yeah, it is. And he could have taken, like we talked about, split that starting army into 2 chunks of bait.
Yeah.
And then give it some real troops. But this is a high-risk play he's doing.
But what I will say is these wolf tribes should be actually... So while the Sobex are not going to be good against the Barbs, they should be pretty good against the wolf tribe. because Wolf Tribe are very killy against low protection units. But these Sobek warriors have enough armor and they have a shield. They're going to be pretty resistant to the damage of these Wolf Tribe.
Yeah, I agree with you. I need to take a short pause.
All right. I'll carry on and you can just cue back in when you're here.
I will.
All right. And we've done Pelagia. So I'm going to come over here to, we've done Uruk. We have done End. We have not done Agartha. So Agartha expanding over in this way. We've seen this same setup before. This is very easy. We're not going to watch that. And then over here, we've got this very risky expansion they're doing with these Earth Readers. I think that's what they're called. Yeah. Oh, is that it is a larger bless, I forget. That's so cool. Armor of Achilles, huh? Yeah, the Bloods are just pretty solid on these guys. 19 attack, 35 damage. So, okay, 2 expansions for Agartha. They're clearing, they're kind of getting this border with Naba up here, and then they're solidifying a border with Vanheim. And they don't have a border with... And I don't know, it's going to be really tough for them to get these heavy cav. The Shard Guard can do it, because one of the problems with the heavy cav, they've got pretty high defense when you factor in the shield. And they've got reasonably high protection, but Shard Guard are going to be able to poke through it. But Shard Guard do not have enough protection where they don't care about the lance charge. So I think if you did this, you would ideally want to do it with mercs or with like some indie chaff. So like one thing you could do is maybe get like a commander and like 10 infantry just to soak the lance charge. You start getting them here and you send the Shard Guard here and then you run them down this way. But anyway, I'm not sure what he's thinking. I'm guessing this other expansion party is going to come south. Because controlling any of this is very valuable for Agartha, whereas controlling some of this, probably a little less valuable. Okay. So that's Agartha. And coming over here, we've got Naba. We watched them and we watched her. Okay, we're done with that column.
We've done Van.
Yeah, we've done Van. We have not done Pythium.
No, we have not.
And Pythium, if you remember, they took our breath away with that double expand they did with the Retarius, which I thought was a brilliant move. But they followed that up, unfortunately, with more Retarius and not more real armies. And then they had a very unfortunate, and unfortunate is really the only word, unfortunate bump with Vanarus. I'm with Vanheim.
Exactly. With Vanheim, yeah.
And that killed their one real army that wasn't entirely Retarius.
And they got trashed. So what's this new army he's got down there? The Tower Shield Javelin guys? Oh, they're solid.
Okay, this is the Velites. Okay, these are the cheapest one. I was thinking... Yeah, okay. These guys, if we zoom in, he's got different types here.
Does he? Oh, okay.
The ones with the shoulder pads are reasonably high quality. These ones in the front are not.
Oh, okay.
But they all have excellent shields. These tower shields are phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, that makes a big difference.
He's not using the javelins, which in my opinion, if you're getting the cheap guys, you're getting them at least 30% just for the javelins.
Yeah, but he tanked that heavy cavalry very well.
Yeah.
He probably parried almost all of it. Looks like he's actually taking more damage from the infantry.
Yeah, we can see here.
Even so, that was a cheap expansion. I mean, 50 gold loss. That's cheap.
Yeah, that's fine, especially if you're taking heavy cav.
And he took a farm with it. It's not a huge farm.
Yeah,
but it's solid.
Taking these heavy cav, this is when even just having a few Retarius that you mix in. Every time I've used the Roman nation where you have access to gladiators, what I try to do is I try to not use them. I use them as a reserve.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is like forward position the army up here, put the Retarius in the back, and because you don't have to bless or anything, they just charge in, and the Retarius most of the time aren't going to engage. But every time you have to deal with heavy cav, it's nice having just spending a few of the Rotarius to kill them. And you wouldn't have taken any of the losses from these guys probably if you had the...
Right.
But anyway, there's a fine expansion. He's got Rotarius here.
And that's it.
I don't love... Here's what I don't like. I do not like... I like the Rotarius as a solo army for the initial expand. I do not like this, though. Rotarius moving around by themselves.
You mean by this point, by turn 6?
By turn 6. Right. But they are strategic and tactical, and their insurance is what they are this late, in my opinion. They're a phenomenal unit, and they're also rush deterrent. But taking provinces by sacrificing 200 gold of Rotarius, ew.
Yeah, that's painful.
Ew.
The payback is slow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at this province. This, oh my god, it's so tiny. It's so teeny tiny, but it's got houses. It means it's actually large. This is maybe the best province in the game. 2,400, even a little bit more than that Naba one.
Holy cow.
But it's guarded by knights, which are better than... they're like extraordinary heavy cav for indies.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. He's got a situation there, that's for sure.
Well, this is interesting. So, Xibalba, who we haven't talked about yet, there's not much more to say about Pythium. Xibalba has a big force coming up this way. And what was Xibalba going to do with this force? Were they going to take this? I don't think so. I don't think they can take this.
Yeah, I think they were going to go straight north.
They were going to go straight north.
So now they're blocked. So
which, if you're Pythium, you can deduce that. Because you can know, looking at this, that they were coming to take this. But now you're saying, okay, either they're going to attack me, they're not going to do this, because they can't take it, or they would go, well, this actually is a phenomenal province, too, because it's a great gold mine.
But they don't know that.
They don't know that. Yeah, I don't know.
I think Xibalba is kind of left with no real choice but to move east and take that small heavy cavalry. I mean, he can see the Bandars coming from Jotunheim, but
that's true.
He's still got to make that play anyways.
Risk a bump there.
Well, it's either that or that army just does nothing for a turn. And
yeah, or they attack. That's another option.
Yeah.
I'm paranoid about... thing is, it doesn't really happen. I normally don't... Like, if I would take this, like a nice farmland, and I see this here, I would be so paranoid it would be attacking me if I were Pythium. And I do like 20 PD in patrol. I'll do it 9 times out of 10. And then 9 times out of 10, nothing's gonna happen. And I just wasted money on PD. But I am super freaking paranoid. I don't know another way to say it.
Well, it's also a really nice place to fort.
Yeah. I mean, the 20 PD isn't wasted. Having 20 PD on a fort's usually pretty good.
20 PD to protect a fort from being lost during construction is worthwhile. I'll put 20 in a fort underway if it looks like it's at risk.
But these farmlands that you have that are immediately between two capitals, they are so contentious. Like,
well, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd be paranoid I'd get attacked. But
these are effectively a symmetric map. They're not completely symmetric, but they have a symmetry to them.
Right.
The way MapNuke does it, it always puts these farms exactly halfway between capitals. And
well, but like this one is up here, which is a little different, and the geography's weird, so you have to go up and...
Yeah, the geography, the chokes and stuff, and the impassable mountains. See, look at that one throne there. There's almost no ways in.
Yeah, this is a cool throne.
That's just goofy.
It's cool. I like it.
2 of them are... Some are only mountain passes.
It's like Mount Doom.
Yeah.
Like Mordor over here. But it gives it interesting things, because you can actually figure out how some of these things are going to go down. Like, if you... Like, this border right here with these 2 provinces, this is so contentious. Like, it is so hard for Xibalba and Pythium to not fight. That's another reason I'd be paranoid. because this is just so contentious. There's so much money in this border. Whereas if you come down here, this border between Zabalba and Ashdod, not very contentious at all. Like, who cares?
Yeah, you're right.
And this border over here, okay, this actually is a pretty contentious border. Okay, these are actually...
Wow, Zabalba's in the squeeze.
Yeah.
He's got 3 neighbors within 2 already.
Yeah, that's true. He really is getting the squeeze. You're right. He was very slow about getting these expansion parties out, but he's been using just big-ass expansion parties of garbage.
Wow. He hasn't got a lot else.
Yeah.
Not in the early game.
I would never... I don't know how he's doing so good with these guys. I would look at this 8 attack score and I would just say, I can't do it. I can't physically click this button to make this unit.
Yeah.
8 attack, 8 defense, 9 morale. I couldn't spend gold on it.
But they're working.
They're working.
Just because there's enough of them. I mean,
7 gold? Ooh. Yeah, there's enough.
I still think, to me, and I would have to test this, and this is just theory crafting, but I'd be using 50-50 of those and then bats. And I'd be having those do the front line just like he's doing, and then a set of bats fly over the top afterwards and try for a snipe.
Yeah.
But I've never seen Zabalba expand with the frogs. I've never seen that. So.
Yeah. We're getting educated.
Mm-hmm. And it's working. He just needs a lot.
But he is pinned in a little bit. It's a little slow.
Sure is.
But he's got... Let's look at army score. Like, I bet you it's just...
Whoa. Who lost all their army?
Oh, my God.
Somebody green. Micklin.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Micklin got trashed.
Where is Micklin? To hell with this. Okay, I think are we done with this column?
Yeah, we didn't talk about Jotunheim, but that's almost boring because he's just between buying those heavy Bandars.
Okay, we've done this column. Jotunheim's in this column.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see what you mean by column, yeah. Yeah, Micklin and Jotunheim, I think, is all that's left.
Oh my gosh, what has happened? Oh, Wolf Tribe. Oh, so angry.
He's using the shield slingers.
Yeah.
Well, no.
There's a lot of Wolf Tribe. This is like 65 Wolf Tribe. And Jaguars, you know how we were talking about Wolf Tribe not very good against high protection stuff? This kind of garbage? Oh my gosh. This is exactly what they're meant to fight.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have a great blast.
Oh,
if I remember right, he's a scales build.
Well, it's this this charged bodies shenanigans with a little bit of attack skill, magic weapons, a little bit undying, a little bit of strength, a little bit to defense. Oh my God. And the sleep cloud's just like putting salt on the wound.
Ouch.
These are debilitating sleep. That must have been with the gems.
Oh, he's just getting trashed.
And the Jaguars do not do well against massed archer fire.
Well, and then they run away.
Yeah, and this guy's asleep. He's going to get woken up by a few arrows. Oh, no. Okay.
What the heck's going on there?
I think one of the barbarians got pissed. Oh, my God. Okay, here's what happened. We got to watch this again.
They ran away and then turned around. Did you see them flicking back and forth?
Here's what happened. They killed... they weren't routed. Once this squad dies... You'll see one of the barbarians has gone berserk, is going to run past.
Oh, they go back to kill him.
They're on attack closest. And this guy is chasing these guys off the field.
So all the Jags run to the back, continuing to be shot.
Yeah.
And then they run forward again.
So some of this is unlucky.
Oh,
but
man.
Not most of it. Oh, man.
Ouch.
Oh, man. That is brutal.
Yeah, and then probably many of the rest of them died in retreat.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that was
brutal.
Painful. And then he had another one.
Oh.
Same story. Oh, cavalry. That's a lot of heavy cavalry.
You know, he's disrespecting these heavy cav. That is a lot of cav.
That's a lot. He's getting trashed. And continuously shot. And that jag is bleeding.
You know what I think? I think it's like, I don't think this build's necessarily bad, but I think he's not playing his build. Like, he's playing his build like he has really killy jags that are going to run in and chop everything up in a few hits. And so these guys are distractions, and these guys are the blenders.
But he's only got 5 of them.
But that's not the build he has. This is not a blender dude. This is a guy with like 13, well, kind of better dude. See what they look like just when they get blessed.
But they've only got a single attack.
Yeah, this is 14 attack, 1 attack per tile, 14 defense. They're going to kill things pretty slowly.
And they're all afflicted already.
Yeah. I think...
Without regen, he doesn't have any affliction protection.
I think his build is like, we're going to overwhelm the enemy with sacreds. You know, like, we're going to have... What are you going to do when I've got, 15 sacreds and they've all got charged body that are going to insta-delete you?
But we thought he was going to do eagles.
Yeah.
When we first saw his build, we thought he'd do eagles. A line of the shielded slingers or something, and then eagles launching over the top and taking out the back line. And he's not buying eagles.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars in some ways make sense. Now, the eagles, he'll have to get those because those are his recruit anywhere sacred.
Yeah.
But it may be for expansion, Jaguars were better, but I think he's just not using enough of them. Like, This is like Wolf Tribe and Heavy Cab demand respect. And he just disrespected the shit out of them by sending 5 Jaguar warriors. Like, he should have just combined the armies. And I know a lot of this is like super easy to say in hindsight, but...
Well... Oh.
My goodness.
6 eagles with nothing else. What happens? The commander gets sniped? It's just not enough.
Just not enough.
Yeah.
Well, now he's in real trouble. Because now he doesn't even have the option of doing like a proper expansion with 10 sacreds in an army.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. He's in rough shape. Well, that just was really obvious from the army graph.
Yeah, and this is
So he lost half of everything he's recruited to date.
Yeah. I've lost to this guy's Micklin before. It was with a more meta build though. It wasn't the weird stuff. It was with like 10 strength and magic weapons and resistances.
Oh yeah.
So it was a early age Micklin too. So he knows how to play Micklin.
Yeah, that's a little different though. Like middle age has always kind of been the bastard stepchild of Micklin. Yeah. It's kind of a weird one. It's got good diversity. It always screams to me for a scales diversity build.
Yeah.
Middle age. And then just use troops. Save your sacreds for, guided missiles.
So we'll see. I hope he can recover because I love seeing the off-meta stuff. I really do. Especially in a competitive game. But it is going to be hard to come back from this.
But yeah, and I think he was just like he split into 3 expansion parties, and it's only turn 6, so 3 is being very aggressive, and it was a failed choice.
Yeah.
It didn't work. They were all a little too small.
I think the other thing to just appreciate, because some of this is like us Monday morning quarterbacking, but like even if it worked, like let's say he won all of these, right? Even if he won all of these, he would have won them at enormous cost.
Yes.
And that's not going to position, like it wouldn't have been some attrition, like it was guaranteed to be a lot of attrition.
Yep. Because those were big armies he attacked.
Right. So I think it's better to just, he should have sent both of them here because he wouldn't have been able to get from here to his capital. He should have sent both here and then both here, and that would have been just fine.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, interesting, but yeah, he's in trouble.
He's in big trouble.
And then immediately to his north
is the king.
Is the dominant powerhouse.
Yeah.
How many did he lose to those Pandars? I mean, we don't really have to see what he did with them because you can't do anything. They're just going to
cudgel their way to.
So he's down. I think they started at 26.
Yeah.
Or 25. So he's lost 5 total. So they're good for 3 or 4 more expansions.
Yeah.
Just pounding their way through.
If you see Bandar warriors in the first turn, if you have really good stuff you can get, like really good sacreds that can expand by themselves or something, like get those sacreds, right? But if you don't, if you have stuff that's gonna like have to build up for a couple turns to expand or whatever, just put all your money on them. They're so good.
Yeah, they did really well.
Yeah,
they're a good merc.
This
is his off heading. So this is the.
Ooh, lost a commander here.
Oh.
But he brought 2.
Good call. Which one did he lose? The little. Oh, yeah. The heavy infantry came around him.
I think this is one squad, though. Excuse me. Yeah, this looks like one squad. This is one of the reasons you want 2 squads. And I think he could have done it.
Yeah, like we've seen 2 or 3 players do much the same he's doing here, but just split them into 2 squads, just a little spread apart to increase the size to avoid being flanked.
Woo!
That was close.
That was close.
Touch and go.
But nailed it.
And that's a Gija, so that pricey loss.
Yeah.
He only did 2 expansions.
Yeah, so he's slowed down. He was doing 3 earlier.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty valuable province, hopefully, and he's, I'm sure, going to try to get this. These will be potentially contested with Pelagia. So that will be interesting.
Soon. He can't see it, but we can see that Pelagia can't get on Nold's land anytime soon because he's got nothing amphibious in the area.
Yeah. Pelagia problems. Okay, so that's Utgard. Anything you want to say on that? Or Jotunheim, sorry.
Yeah, Jotunheim. No, I think we've covered everybody, haven't we?
I think we got one more here. We got
Vanarus.
Well, it's kind of interesting. He's got a Veyeden here with some Oathbound, and you can see he split them up into 2 squads.
So that's, I think, 4 players now are using effectively that same idea.
Yeah.
Squads of roughly 6 to 7. Wow, those are pretty small, 5 and 6, it looks like.
Yeah.
A little on the small side, but but they're also berserkers, aren't they?
No, I don't think so.
No,
not these guys.
Blood Bond or Blood Surge.
I mean, this is a solid troop, though. Glamour plus 18 defense.
Yeah, they're tearing things.
This is just 2 turns of cap recruitment, and it's just brainless expansion, I think. You have to be, not complete brainless, but they have a shield, but you don't want arrows popping Glamour if you can help it. But aside from that, in melee, they're just units.
Yeah, they're pretty straightforward. He's doing fine.
Yeah. And spans over here.
And a few skin shifters.
Oh, yeah, these Chud skin shifters, yeah.
Yeah, just 3 of them.
But pretty easy expansion. What's he recruiting? He's getting more archer. Interesting, he's getting archers. I wonder what that's for. And then Chud Herdman.
Barbarians? I don't see any barbarians.
There's some here.
There, a few.
These guys have high enough attack. I would probably consider running them into the barbs. It will matter how many. Yeah. I mean, high enough defense. that they might be okay. First, the barbs. You do not want to run them into elephants, though. What do you think about this one? This is obviously going to be a contested province. Heavy cav, light cav. It's probably, my guess, you would want to ping this. My guess is this is probably 8 to 15 heavy cav, which is a pretty big swing.
Yeah. And neither has an army big enough at the moment.
No, I was saying I think they might be able to take this with this army.
Only the 10?
Well, I think it's 11, right? Yeah.
11. Maybe.
And Smite's pretty good against heavy cav.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. But I think that's it. I think we've done it.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my gosh, 1 hour and 25.
Yeah, pretty long episode, but quite a bit of detail and trying to cover this 16 nations.
Oh my god! Imagine when wars break out. I think we're gonna do some things because, especially now that there's more expansion parties. What you can expect, I think, in the next episode is we're going to first do this, and if there's nothing to see, we're gonna skip by default, and we're gonna spend more time talking about the stuff now. You've seen how everybody's expanding. You see how they're doing the formations. If nothing really happens, we're not gonna do much about it. So,
I think that's a good call. Yeah. Just so we don't get these episodes running 3 hours a turn.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again for joining me, Maryland. And thank you all for watching.
Welcome. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
See you next time.